Monsieur le Président, le Rwanda prend note de la mise à jour orale de la Commission. Le Rwanda réaffirme son attachement à la paix, à la stabilité régionale et aux principes de la Charte des Nations Unies. Nous soutenons un travail d'enquête crédible, impartial et fondé sur des preuves, car c'est le seul moyen le plus sûr d'éclairer les décisions du Conseil et de renforcer la responsabilité. Mr. Vice President, the serious allegations made by the DRC representatives are once again presented without independent verifiable evidence or objective corroboration. Rwanda requests that such allegation meets a credible evidentiary standard, forensic analysis where relevant, and independently corroborated sources. Anonymous testimonies, unverified accounts, and selectively cited open source information cannot provide accounts and sufficient basis for definitive conclusions. Rwanda also wishes to address the COI's method of work. The Commission's mandate is to establish facts, circumstances, and root causes in Nord-Kivu and Sud-Kivu, including through field engagement. The Commission has shared that they were not able to travel to the Kivu regions and worked in Kinshasa. It is to note that Kinshasa is approximately over 1,500 kilometers away from Goma and Bukavu, roughly the distance between Geneva and Bucharest, or further than Singapore and Bangkok. No one would claim to understand what is happening in Bangkok while assessing the situation from Singapore. Conversely, leading investigation on Bucharest while remaining in Geneva is not possible. In the same way, an oral update on the both Kivus must be grounded in the realities of the region. Without field visits, direct engagement with affected communities, and careful verifications on the ground, Rwanda is concerned that the Commission will not be able to fully discharge the mandate. My delegation therefore invites the Chair to clarify how the Commission will address this concern, including how they will engage victims and witnesses across the Great Lake region, where the UNHCR reports approximately 949,000 Congolese refugees and asylum seekers in various countries in the region, including in Rwanda. Mr. Vice President, the crisis in the Eastern DRC is complex and deeply rooted. For Rwanda, any assessment must be including the FDLR, a UN-sanctioned genocidal armed group founded by the perpetrators of the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi. Since they have found safe haven in the Eastern DRC, the FDLR has remained a direct threat to Rwanda's security and a driver of instability in the Great Lakes region. The threat carries an ideological dimension. The genocidal ideology spread by the FDLR continues to fuel anti-Tutsi hate speech, ethnic incitement, and discriminatory rhetorics against Congolese Tutsi communities, including the Banyamulenges. These are early warning signs that cannot be ignored. These realities are documented in UN reporting. Mr. Vice President, the AU-led mediation under Togo's leadership, the Washington Peace Accords between Rwanda and the DRC, and the Doha process have created very important political tracks. The agreed concept of operations under the Washington Peace Accords identifies the neutralization of the FDLR as a responsibility of the DRC. However, implementation continues to be undermined by the DRC's documented coordination with the FDLR, including through equipment, financing, as well as coordination with the Congolese army. The DRC cannot credibly call for peace while pursuing a military solution on the ground, further supported by over 10,000 Burundian soldiers and foreign mercenaries. This approach must be clearly called out. Rwanda urges this Council and reporting mechanisms to apply credible evidentiary standards, reflect the full security context, including the FDLR threat, and support the implementation of existing peace commitments. Peace will be measured by implementation on the ground through inclusive political dialogue, regional cooperation, confidence-building measures, and comprehensive approaches that addresses the root cause of the conflict. I thank you, Mr. Vice President.